Yo, yo, what's good, homie? Um, it is currently 2 a.m. I think it's 2 a.m. It's late. It's currently 2 a.m. in Taiwan right now. Um, and today is the first day I'm working with an extreme time zone difference. I live in the East Coast. That's a 12-hour difference. So 2 a.m. here is 2 p.m. back at home. And I'd say so far I'm handling it okay. But man, I've now been traveling for I don't know, fucking 9 days, and it's type rough, a little rough. I spent my first 7 days in London, had a blast there, met some cool people, and overall had a decent time. Spent way too much fucking money, and even though the time that I did spend, even though I had a good time with the time that I did spend doing shit, I spent too much time like working and like focused on that. Newsflash, I don't like my job. So when I say something responsible like that, understand that it's out of necessity than it is like a passion. Um, Speaking of a passion of mine, I'm talking to you now about my progress uploading videos. So I've been trying to keep up with uploads daily for my gaming stuff. I think I've been doing a good job with that. I'm still putting out stuff daily. I was about to go to sleep and I was like, oh shit, I gotta make a gaming video. So that's gonna come up in a little bit after this video. But yeah, the trip in general is honestly pretty cool. Wow, I look crazy. The trip in video, the trip in general is going pretty well. I really enjoy being outside of the house and obviously traveling. I got to Taiwan um, on Sunday, and yeah, today's basically 24 hours later, so having a good time. Um, we rented two places in Taiwan. The first place was more like a temporary stay, and the second place was a long term stay. And we had to do it because, long story short, the night before we were gonna like maybe like 12 hours before we were gonna board our flight, we realized that we didn't have like a place booked for Taiwan. So I spent like 6 hours. I stayed up and I did all the research necessary to kind of like find a place for the criteria that we're looking for, um, and then make sure that it's also affordable and all that stuff. Because we're now traveling with three people, so we want three bedrooms and at least two full bathrooms. And I ended up finding it, but it was just in two places. So yeah, man. I mean, like it was wild because that night I had pulled an all nighter, and this was basically like Thursday into Friday I pulled an all nighter, and then Friday into Saturday I pulled an all nighter because Saturday was the day I was flying. So I remember we left like our hotel in London at like three a.m. and then we had a flight to catch at 6. So we had to like figure out the tubes, which is like the subway system, and generally had an easy time except for like Terminal 4. If you ever been in like Heathrow, Terminal 4 via the tube, it's fucking weird. But we figured it out, boarded, made it to Amsterdam, which was like our first leg of this flight. Bought some Stroop waffles, and then ultimately made it to Taiwan, like 16 hours later. It's about like 24 hours worth of commuting. I did a lot of sleeping, but turns out I was still sleepy. We took the was it the high speed rail? I don't know. We like took a couple of trains or subways, whatever you want to call them, to our first Airbnb, and we're only gonna be there for like a day, because the other spot that I had booked, which is where I am at now, is way nicer than the first place. Um, so we just needed somewhere to sleep, because we got there at like 6 a.m. And usually you check into a place at fucking 4 or 3. So yeah, I had already booked this place a day in advance, and yeah, we like show up and we leave like the subway station. First thing I see is like a fucking Patek Philippe store on our right. And turns out we're like in a part of town that's like really bougie. It's not really my kind of style, but it was like cool to note. We eventually met up with our Airbnb host, And then yeah, he like walked us to where we were. Guy did not want to give us like an official address, which was like kind of weird, I guess, but whatever. He showed up. He walked us to where we were going. We were like on the fourth floor, so we had to go up. No, we didn't have to go up the stairs. We took an elevator, and he showed us around, and it was what I expected it to be. Airbnb was pretty cool. It was a 3 bedroom, two full bath, and yeah, honestly, it was pretty chill. The only problem I had with the place was like none of the wires were grounded. So you know how you have like a 3 prong outlet usually. Well, over here everything was like 2 prongs. So I was like a little afraid for my electronics because I bring like so many, but everything was fine. Um, yeah, basically like we got there at that time, fucking fell asleep instantly. We had a friend of ours coming from Vietnam meeting us, so he eventually showed up like 6 hours later. I fucking fell asleep, woke up, we hung out, did some shit, and the night was cool. The next day, which is today, um, we basically like had to check out. But luckily, this host had a decent policy where like usually you're gonna check out at 11 a.m. But he's like, hey, if you want to pay me like what is it, $15 an hour, you can extend your stay, if you like. So basically, it was like, yeah, like I got another place. Check in at 3. I need another 4 hours. Let me drop. I think I paid like $80 for it. So he was like, yeah, let's do it. So it worked out. And what we did with our newfound time, right, is we slept in. I woke up at 8 a.m. local time, which again, as a working class man right now, is not good, right? Because that's basically waking up at 8 p.m. That's like right after my 8 to 5 shift at work. But I got good rest. So what can I do? So what did we do with the day? I mean, we basically had from 8 a.m. to 3 p.m. to basically like do whatever we want to do outside the house, come back, pack our shit, clean the place up, and then go on our way to our next place. Basically, we woke up. I got out of bed really fast. Usually, when I'm in bed, I stay in bed for like fucking an hour and a half, just like rotting away, melting, reverse osmosising, evaporating into like my solid self. And then I get the fuck out of bed. But today, it was like 5 minutes and I was good, right? I felt like I was, I don't know, on top of the world. It was weird. So my friends had already planned to go to the gym. I like the gym. I just don't like it enough to like force myself to get out of bed. But since I didn't have to force myself, I was going with them. So we hit the gym, and we were looking for like a cool place to go. One of our friends did some research and found out like there's like this like fancy ass gym. It's like a 2-story gym, co-ed. Second floor has like a fucking like one of those rooms where you do like dance or Zumba or whatever the fuck. So it was like a nice full-fledged gym. We got there. A guy was asking us like, "Yo, do you want to do like a full day pass? You want to do like a week pass? Because we're only here for a week at this point." And we thought about it, but basically like a day pass was like probably the best way to go. And yeah, we began using the facilities. Um, we basically each worked out for about like an hour 15, hour 30. Today I tried to focus on like a little bit of everything. With me focusing on like my content and shit, like I've been really sedentary, to be honest. Like I don't get out much because I'm just either working, trying to save money by staying home, and making content because I'm trying to make money doing that. And yeah, I just don't really find myself like going out as much, or even like finding time to work out. Not that I can't make the time, but it's like there's other things that I'm prioritizing right now, and fitness is just isn't one of them. So I had a really good workout where like I worked on chest, I worked on arms, I worked on like my quads with squats, and I did a lot of treadmills to help my heart rate, and it was good. It was a good feeling. So after all that, we basically like wanted to go eat. We were like pretty indecisive for what we wanted to eat, but regardless, we were just walking around, and we found like an art store. My friends are more artsy than me, so they were there, and I just kind of left them, and I said, I'm gonna go find the food. So I found this place that serves like it's just like a specialty duck place. Okay, you ever met some duck people, bro? Like I went to the duck people, the people who duck it up. All right, so everybody was excited. Like I looked up the reviews, bro. It was like 4.8 stars, 30K reviews. You know what that means, bro? It's a lot of motherfuckers. So we went in, and went upstairs, and we sat down. And before we could sit down, right? You know when you go to like a waitress and you're like, hey, like I'm a party of 3. What's the wait? Or can I sit over there? Shit like that. Motherfucker was like, okay, you're 3. Yeah. you want a half duck? Because half duck works for y'all niggas. And I'm like, we're still standing up. We haven't looked at a menu, nothing. And I'm like, guys, I guess they only serve duck here. Y'all want duck? I mean, that's why we came here. So I kind of said yes. We sat down. They still gave us menus. And eventually we decided, oh, we can order some other shit. So we got here, say, 1 p.m. 1 p.m., right? And we're like, all right, we got 2 hours to check out. So I was like, we got enough time, right? Nah, cap. We got there like fucking 12. It was like midday, noon. And he was like, all right, we got hella time. So I order like some fried duck. My friend orders some like, I think, beef with garlic or some shit. It was really good. And then my other friend, he orders a bunch of prawns. So we're all having like what should be a good meal. The food though takes really, really long, like really, really long. Okay, 20 minutes. These two gentlemen get their food and they eat it. And I ordered duck, but we already had a duck coming, but it was like a side dish of duck. So I didn't think it would take like long, but essentially it took me an hour, right? Like 40 more minutes to get my duck. And then the half duck that we ordered, like, long story short, never showed up. I mean, we were there for like an hour and a half, and I had to tell homie, I was like, dog, we have to leave because we got to check out and we got shit to do with our day. I need you to take this shit off the bill. Mad motherfuckers were coming about, and they weren't really pressed about the bill. It was more just like, damn, I'm sorry. We want to give you good service. One of the cool things that they did is they offered to take the duck to our hotel. But they didn't really understand that I was like checking out and then going somewhere else. So bringing it to my hotel as if I'm going to eat it there. No, 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 no. I'm supposed to eat it here because I don't have the time to eat it there. So we eventually got it figured out. Pretty disappointed because I didn't really get the chance to like eat the duck that like, they're like famous for. But I did have some duck and it was good. It was just prepared a bit differently. It was like more fried. But yeah, so I just went over like the first like 6, 7, 8 hours of the day. We get home with literally like an hour. It's like 2 p.m. Got to go at 3. And everybody just like goes into the room and just locks in. One of our friends who did a lot of the cooking also did some of the dishwashing. And we all kind of helped around with like getting things cleaned up. I have so much shit to pack that I couldn't really help out as much as I wanted to with other responsibilities. But we did all get ready on time and we packed it up. Guy was outside right at 3. And as we opened the door leaving, he was there. I was like, let me check the apartment. He liked it. We left. No penalties. All's good. We go downstairs and we escape with what's left of the refrigerator, right? Like we bought some stuff, stored it. And we bought, one of my friends brought like a lot of like, fuck is it called? Strawberry ice cream. Really good. Very natural tasting. Crazy how food changes when you go overseas. And that shit was bussin'. Now, we went outside of the apartment complex to like just chill and eat as we figure out which way we need to go. I also booked this Airbnb, so I'm responsible for finding the directions. And as we're just chilling there, dude, I see. I'm trying to give you a scale here, dude. I see a rodent this size, dude. Okay, a fucking large cockroach. Okay, imagine a cockroach the size of like a whole garlic, and it was just crawling on my luggage, and I was like I twitched, bro. I twitched, crazy. All right, like I'm not squeamish, but I'm a little bit. All right, I could kill bugs, but I don't like them. So I saw it on my luggage. I was like, oh my god, ew. And I like took out my hand sanitizer. I was like, after kicking it off my luggage. All right, so I didn't like ruin its eyesight and shit. But I did have to kick it off the luggage. I'm like, I'm not dealing with this nasty ass nigga. What was crazy about where we were is it was bougie. We talked about the Patek Philippe and all that shit. There was like a wrapped Porsche Macan, and it was a really nice area. But there was just so many cockroaches on the street. Okay, like imagine like tourism, but for cockroaches. It was weird. So like every 2 seconds we see like a cockroach cross the street, get run over by a car, and we're like eating our ice cream, just chilling here, AFK. Eventually we got the hint. We should fucking leave. So we did. And because I'm working, but my employer doesn't know, I'm figuring out essentially um, where we're going, but I'm using my phone's time. So like, if you didn't know this, let me just help you make this make sense. When you use a navigation app like Google Maps, right? Um, and it involves the trains. It's gonna let you know what time the trains are coming and whatnot, blah blah blah. Now, it'll also tell you when that train is coming, and it'll also tell you what the train schedule is going to be looking like based off of the time on your phone, because it's assuming the time on your phone is where you are. Well, for me, that isn't the case. So I was initially giving us the wrong directions. So I had like a bit of a weird moment. It was like, oh, they want me to go east, to go west, but we only need to go west. Long story short, I just had to like figure out, okay, I just need to like change my time zone. Um, if I don't change my time zone and I leave it to like local time, for example, while I work, they'll probably find out and then fire me. So I was like, I gotta know when to do this and whatnot. So I figured it out. We basically made it to where we were going, and before I tell you this next part, um, I already told you that I had booked a place. Now, what I didn't tell you is that the place that we booked was already booked. So I booked this place like 4 days ago, 3 days ago, 2 days ago, I don't know. And like the guy tells me like 2 hours before check-in, hey, I'm like really sorry, but like can we talk on WhatsApp real quick? Because again, we have like an established Airbnb chat. And he's like, hey, can we talk on WhatsApp? And I'm like, okay, I guess. And yeah, he's like, hey, I fucked up, and I gave your place away, or like people are staying in your place longer. I don't really know what the circumstance was, but the place just wasn't available. So I was like, the fuck? And yeah, basically like we just sat down, and he was like, yo, I'm really him, so I got other places, and if you want, I can let you stay here. My nigga gave me a 5 bedroom, 4 full bathroom, 2-story house for no extra money. There is an inconvenience involved, so I'm not gonna be like, oh my god, I won, because I don't really care about how nice this place is. It's a nice place. Don't get it twisted. And this is just my room, right? It is definitely a nice place. But there were some drawbacks. But I like to be very amicable. So I was like, fuck it. Like, it's a nice place. And like you're willing to make things work out, so we'll do it. So anyways, we have to show up to like this new location, new part of town. And yeah, we just kind of let ourselves in. And then yeah, we make ourselves at home. But the Airbnb host was like insistent on like showing us the place. So we met him, and he was really cool. I learned some cool things about him. A 47-year-old Taiwanese man, and he looks really young. I mean, I find a lot of Asians look very young, no matter how much they age. So that man was like no exception. He looked like he'd be like a 22-year-old like college student. Motherfucker's 47 with like a 14-year-old kid. Really nice guy, really nice place. And yeah, guy's making a fucking killing on Airbnb. My friend asked me later on, he's like, yo, why don't you do Airbnb? And I'm like, I don't know. I don't know why I don't do Airbnb. I mean, shit, like, I feel like when you got prime real estate, Airbnb is way easier. When you don't have that, it's more like shiesty. I don't know. But anyways, we had like a chill nigga talk for like an hour. One of the jokes I made was like, yeah, like, oh, first thing he tells me is like, yo, you don't look like your picture. Because there's like an old picture of me. And I'm like, yeah, no, I know that doesn't look like me. And I showed him my ID, which was like also an old picture of me. He's like, oh yeah, that looks more like you. And my ID has like man, I used to have like really big hair. Like imagine this bonnet, but it's actually my hair. And I like took a photo at the DMV, and my hair gets cut off on the sides. So I showed him this. He's like, oh wow, you look crazy. I was like, yeah, but I'm still black though, so you know it's me, because that joke was like a joke because, well, it wasn't a joke, but it's like a joke that I told, and I thought it was funny because, like, my flight to Taiwan, I'm like the darkest nigga there. Me in customs, darkest nigga there. Me on the train, darkest nigga there. Me crossing the street, darkest nigga anywhere. So I'm like, yo, you don't gotta think about whether or not it's me, because it's me. I'm the darkest nigga you probably seen today, or this week, or this month, you know? And then I was like, yeah, I'm still black, you know. So he was dying, and then he's like, yeah, well, I'm still yellow, right? Because he's Asian. So I was like, man, I like a sense of humor. You know, we can get along pretty well. It was pretty funny. But yeah, we just sat down. I had a lot of requests. You know, I was like, hey, where can we do this? Where can we do that? A lot of shit. And it was like super nice. Sat down, shot the shit. He even told me what kind of money he was making on Airbnb. Dog, homie makes anywhere from 25,000 US dollars to like 40K USD a month. I'm like, shit, nigga, damn. Fuck am I doing? But I'm happy for him, and I'm happy we're in this place. So after we left, we had to go ahead and basically do some shopping. Like this guy like got a new washer, but didn't leave us a laundry detergent, and we had planned on like cooking, so we had to go buy food. We left the house and kind of went on this bit of an adventure to find a supermarket. Smelled like piss and shit on the way, just in like one area. So after we like surpassed that, we made it to the grocery store, and we all bought like our snacks and our meats and whatever. We just couldn't find eggs. Like the eggs were out of stock. Isn't that weird? Like the only eggs that I could get were like boiled salted quail eggs. I don't want that shit. At least not right now. So we left with no eggs, but everything else under the sun. And we basically went back home. And around this time, it's like kind of getting close to um, like maybe 6 p.m. So remember, 12-hour time difference. I'm starting work in 2 hours. And I'm like, all right, what we bought requires me to cook. And I don't like cooking for myself. I like cooking for others, but I don't like cooking for myself. So being that, again, I'm working from like 8 p.m. to 5 a.m., I need to make sure that I eat but have food throughout my shift. So I'm like, all right, guys, I'm going to go ahead and leave and buy food. Does anybody want to come with me? Only one of my friends took me up, so we left. He wanted sushi. I wanted some hot food, but I'm willing to compromise. So I was like, all right, let's go find something. We walk around, and first place we find is like a cafeteria style restaurant. And it seems like they serve a little bit of everything. So we're like, all right, let's go. Let's pull up. I'm like, yo, table for two. She's like, what's your name? I give it to her, and she's like, all right, here's your slip. Come back with it. Think of like a meat number, like a meat packing number. Here it is. Yep. She's like, here you go. Here's your slip. Come back and get in line. I'm like, okay. So she was basically saying like, all right, like wait 20 minutes. So I wasn't going to fully commit to this place that I've never eaten at, nor have gotten recommendations about. So I was like, cool, I'll just keep this, set a timer for 20 minutes and we'll come back. What resulted is that we never came back and we kept looking for food. And I'm not going to lie, the food that we either smelled or saw looked a lot like pork or chicken or beef intestines. And I like flesh. I'm not really into organs. So honestly, I found a lot of the stuff like not appetizing. I'm not gonna say that it's not good. I'm not gonna say that it doesn't look good. But I was looking for something a bit more like after the day that I had. I'm like, can I just eat something that I recognize? Like I don't really feel too adventurous right now. We spent an obscene amount of time like just walking around and trying to find like something that we could just because I'm not really that picky, but I just don't want intestines. And like everything like smelled off or like looked off. You know what I mean? Like I was looking at like pig feet like everywhere. I was like, ooh, I don't want it. It took us a while, but eventually we unironically um, settled on. We had like two stages of grief, right? I was like, cool. Like I'm looking for Taiwanese food or something Asian, and what we found just wasn't appetizing. So I was like, yo, safe bet, ramen, Japanese spot. You know what I mean? So I think what do you call like a little Japanese store? Like sorry, little ramen spot, izakayas or some shit. I don't know. They didn't serve alcohol. It was just like a like a bench. You just sit there. You just eat your shit. You know, just eat your ramen and dip. And then the way you order is like on one of those Japanese vending machines. You hit your shit, get your ticket, bam, you're good. We were like third in line. First person was able to place their order and begin waiting. They placed their order after waiting 20 minutes, and 10 minutes into them waiting, again, we couldn't order for these 30 minutes that we were in line. We're like, bro, I can't wait at this place. What am I gonna do? Wait here for fucking 3 hours to eat some fucking ramen? Like, I'm hungry as shit. So, earlier we had come across like a Pizza Hut, and also a Burger King. So unironically, I'm like, bro, let's just hit this fucking Pizza Hut. We show up and they're advertising this like new pasta dish, which is cool, but I wasn't trying to get no fucking pasta at Pizza Hut. Don't ask me why we didn't get pizza at Pizza Hut, but we settled for chicken. It's like a sorted little chicken box. And he told us, give me 20 minutes. And I was like, God damn, we're waiting 20 minutes again. At this point, we spent probably like an hour and 20 minutes just trying to fucking find food. I'm like mad hungry. Again, the last time I ate was at the Duck Spot, and the Duck Spot didn't even properly feed me the food I was expecting to eat. So I'm like, ooh, hungry. So, anyways, me and my friend, we walked to a park, and he's like, I'm gonna take a seat here. And I'm like, I'm gonna look for food. Um, so I walk around, I find an alleyway, I buy like a Cinnabon, like randomly, and it was like mag. It was like a local Taiwanese Cinnabon. And I eventually found a spot that just sells like a bunch of chicken. In hindsight, mad greasy, but at the time and even now, it's mad good. It's just mad greasy. But homie was selling like 5 wings for 85 NT, which is the new Taiwan dollar, which is of course the currency here. The conversion rate on that is 33 new Taiwan dollar for every one American dollar. So 85 local currency is roughly like $3 for 5 wings. 5 wings, like decent sized wings, you know? Like I'm not talking about like micro penis, microscopic wings. I'm talking about like the big boys. So it was like a fantastic deal. I wanted to try it first. I tried it, and yeah, it was like phenomenal. So I like bought like 7 more. My friend eventually met me because this entire process took me like maybe 30 minutes. Because when I found the chicken place and I tried to pay, he only took cash. And I didn't have enough cash to buy this shit. So I had to find an ATM. I eventually found it at 7-Eleven, but that shit had a line. So I spent like 20 minutes in line, got the money, went to go pay him, ordered one item, fell in love with it after waiting 10 minutes to obviously have that cooked. Then I ordered like 3 more. Friend met me up. Then we went home. We went home, shift started, and at the beginning of my shift, I'm like, bro, I feel disgusting. I need to shower. I did shower at the gym, but all this moving around and all that shit, I need to shower again. So I clocked in, went to shower, uh, laid down in bed after putting on lotion, fell asleep for like 2 hours. Luckily, everything's fine at work. And yeah, pretty much just been home. I'm into my shift now. And this video long as fuck. um, I don't know what's going on at work, so I should probably check it out. But I just wanted to update you on what's going on. Just for scoping here. Today's what, like April the 7th? I've got roughly a month left of traveling. Plans are to, leave Taiwan and hit another Asian country. We might do Malaysia. We might do Vietnam. And we might even do Taiwan for an extra week. So we only plan on being in Taiwan for 1 week. The other of the 2 countries will only hit one of them for 1 week. And then our final 2 weeks we'll spend in Japan. So I'm really looking forward to doing pretty much anything that I said. But yeah, I'm happy that we're here. I have to fucking wash clothes. I have to take a nap. And I have to recalibrate my sleep schedule. Not only for this time zone, but also for like my new time zone. Sorry. Not only for this time zone, which is new to me, but also my work time zone. So I'm not like waking up at like 8 a.m. I gotta be waking up at like 2 p.m. type shit. You know what I mean? So, yeah, super long ass video. Hopefully you enjoyed the little fill in. Let me know what you think. Comments down below. Let me know what you want me to talk about if I miss anything, any questions you have, any advice I can give you. But in recap, London's expensive as shit. Conversion rate makes it so the American dollar is worth 30% less. So therefore, 30% more expensive was like everything. I really enjoyed the people. Really enjoyed the ambiance. Weather was pretty chill and chilly, quite literally. But the food was great. I spent the majority of my time just eating like a bunch of like foreign food, Turkish and Asian food. Sorry, Middle Eastern. It was like Turkish, Kurdish, and one other country. And then a bunch of Asian food. And then at the end, I did have fish and chips, which was bomb. Really like it. And then, yeah, I'm in Taiwan, kind of doing a similar thing. Eating Asian food and then like eating greasy ass chicken. But yeah, what's to come of the Taiwan trip? We are planning on renting a car. If you don't know, Taiwan is an island very close to China, and majority of the island by landmass is just a bunch of mountains. So we want to rent a car to like see like two kind of nature-based landmarks, and I'll be driving. So if I actually end up getting the car, I'm taking you with me, and we're gonna like do a video or two or three or four or five. I don't know, but really excited to see the rest of the country, explore, and leave the compound here. In other news, Airbnb host is so cool. He's like, "You want to drive my bike, like my 100cc Yamaha?" I'm like, "Yeah." So I gotta hit him up and see what kind of gas it takes, and then make sure like that's not gonna cost me like 200 USD per day. But wish me luck. Hope you're doing well. Save some money, and drink water and shit. Bye. I'm leaving.